Argentina 3, France 3. Argentina wins the championship on penalties 4-2. Lusail Stadium, Qatar. 10 minutes to go, Argentina winning 2-0. Mbappé hadn't had a shot on goal the entire game. 30 seconds later, he takes a penalty. One more minute, an incredible volley, goal. 2-2, in 97 seconds. Extra time, Messi scores again. Mbappé responds with a penalty, a hat-trick, the first hat-trick in a World Cup final since 1966. It went to penalties, and Argentina won. Why did Argentina win? By fate, honestly. But if you want the technical answer, the entire team played for Messi. Every defender, every fullback, every touch had a single objective, which was to put that trophy in his hand before he hung up his boots. And they succeeded after 36 years. 2022 wasn't a final, it was a movie. Brazil 4, Italy 1. Mexico. Some people think that Brazil's 1970 team is the best in the history of football. And you know what's even more impressive? Almost no one disagrees. Pelé, Tostão, Gerson, Rivellino, Jairzinho, Carlos Alberto. It was a team where the right back was the top scorer. Each one in their own position, and in the other's position as well if needed. They played with their eyes closed. Italy held on until half-time. But Brazil's second half was a display of brilliance. And then came that goal, Carlos Alberto's goal. 9 players touched the ball. It's the goal we still replay in slow motion today, more than 50 years later. Why did Brazil win in 1970? Because it was the most complete team that ever stepped onto the field. Simple as that, and that was the last time Pelé lifted a trophy. He left on top. Argentina 3, West Germany 2. Mexico. This entire World Cup has one name and surname, Diego Armando Maradona. That's not an exaggeration, it's a fact. Argentina opened up a 2-0 lead. It seemed comfortable, but Germany is Germany. Rummenigge and Wöhler equalized within minutes. All square. Then Maradona did what only he could do. He received the ball in midfield, saw Burruchaga running free, and delivered that perfect pass over the German defense. Burruchaga simply tapped it into the goal, 3-2. Why did Argentina win in 1986? Because they had one guy doing the work of 11. Maradona in that World Cup gave the greatest individual performance ever seen in a World Cup. He basically carried the team on his shoulders from the beginning to the end of the tournament. This title belongs to him. The other 10 players even agree. England 4, West Germany 2. Extra time, Wembley. There's a detail about that final that no one has resolved to this day. One of England's 4 goals may never have gone in. The score was 2-2 in the final minutes, and it went to extra time. Then Geoff Hurst took a shot. The ball hit the crossbar, bounced down, landed on the line, either behind it or on the line, and the referee allowed it. The Germans protested for ages. Slow-motion replays never definitively confirmed anything. It became the ghost goal in football history. But Hurst scored another in the final minutes, this one without a doubt, and completed the first hat-trick in a World Cup final. A record that stood for 56 years until Mbappé. Why did England win in 1966? Because they were playing at home, had a disciplined and solid team, and, perhaps, a bit of luck with the refereeing. It's their only English title to date. They've been singing It's Coming Home for almost 60 years, waiting for the second one. Brazil 5, Sweden 2. Stockholm. Sweden was playing at home and scored 1-0 early on. But Brazil had something no one expected. Imagine being called up for the World Cup at 17 years old. Imagine playing in the final. Imagine scoring 2 goals in that final. Imagine crying on the goalkeeper's shoulder after the final whistle, with the whole world watching. This is Pelé in 1958. A whole generation that was out of the ordinary. Didi, Garrincha, Vavá, Zagallo, and this skinny kid that nobody really knew. Pelé scored his second goal with a chip over the defender and a volley finish. He was 17 years old. 17. Why did Brazil win in 1958? Because it finally showcased South American individual talent to the world within a modern tactical structure, the famous 4-2-4. It was the first team from outside Europe to win the World Cup on European soil. That's where the enduring relationship between Brazil and the World Cup was born. But 8 years before this relationship got off to a good start, it had begun with the biggest scar in the history of Brazilian football. Uruguay 2, Brazil 1. Maracanã. I'm going to treat this with the respect it deserves, because for many Brazilians, this is a scar that has never healed. Maracanã Stadium packed, more than 170,000 people, some say 200,000. Brazil only needed a draw to be champion. A draw. The newspapers were already printed with the news of the title. The players had commemorative medals ready. Everything was perfect. In the 47th minute of the first half, Friaza opens the scoring for Brazil. Maracanã erupts. In the second half, Schiaffino equalizes. Okay, there's still a chance. And in the 34th minute, a name that stuck with him, Giggia. The Uruguayan winger receives the ball on the right, sees Barbosa off his line, and shoots across goal. Goal. The Maracanã fell silent. Never has silence been so heavy in a football stadium. Never. Why did Uruguay win in 1950? Because they had courage when nobody expected it. They went to the locker room at halftime saying, in the famous words of Captain Obdulio Varela, that they were going to step onto the field and face Brazil as equals. And they did. Courage won over favoritism. It's a lesson that's still valuable today, even if it hurts.